Believe it or not, it's Tesco who's put its name to this tablet, but is the Hudl just a glorified way of buying groceries, or is it actually worth investing in? Now, in the hand, it feels surprisingly solid. It's actually a tablet made by Arcos, although you wouldn't know by looking at the branding on the back. The body itself is polycarbonate with a rather large glass bezel around the display on the front. There's dual stereo speakers and a 3 megapixel camera, which is okay but not fantastic. And on the front, there's a 2 megapixel front-facing camera, which we'd only really use for Skype. Charging just takes place via a standard micro USB, and there's a volume control and a power lock key on the right hand side, as well as a standard headphone jack on the top. There's a fairly decent 1440 by 900 IPS LCD panel on the front, which looks pretty good in most situations. Viewing angles are really strong, and only if you really push the brightness up to max will you notice that it starts to get a bit washed out. Now, the user experience itself is pretty much stock Android version 4.22 Jelly Bean, but Tesco has made a few modifications of its own, namely in the form of a few apps and widgets. Out the box, you'll get all of the standard Google apps pre-installed, but you'll also get the likes of Blinkbox Movies and Blinkbox Music, as well as Tesco Groceries and a store locator application. Blinkbox Movies already offers a lot of great content, such as all of the Game of Thrones series, True Blood and Breaking Bad, but Blinkbox Music is still in beta and there's a lot of growing it needs to do compared to other music services like Spotify. On the multimedia front, you also get a really decent experience whether you're playing HD movies or 3D games, thanks to the 1.5 GHz quad-core processor and GB of RAM on the inside. If the choice of content on Blinkbox Movies isn't enough, you can also throw movies onto the onboard storage, which is 16 GB, or expand it via the micro SD slot in the side by a further 32 GB. What's more, any HD movies you can output by the port on top, which is a micro HDMI out to any HD TV, so you can watch a big screen experience powered by this small 7-inch tablet. As well as the micro HDMI out on top, the connectivity also falls to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0 and GPS, and Tesco promises 9 hours of video playback on a single charge. The real kicker with the Hudl is that it's just £119, so although it's not as pretty as the likes of the Nexus 7, it is more affordable, and at the same time it has a better resolution screen than the likes of the original iPad mini. Despite the fact that the screen and the cameras and Blinkbox are a little bit lacking, for £119 the performance that this tablet offers is fantastic, and we would definitely say it's worth taking a look.